that we had to conquer, the two strong women that we are. We showed that, we proved that on Big Brother. I think we would kill it and be very, very entertaining.
I agree. And you know what? I would learn how to drive stick shift just for you, Angela. I really would.
I could do it, but I'm going to grind those gears. I learned on a stick shift and it wasn't easy, but I don't care if I blow a transmission. If we need to get somewhere, Leah, I'll do it. We can do it.
Well, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, how crazy is it? Because I really just put this in my head. And I'm not even saying this from a biased standpoint, but I'll say that your punishment and my HOH were the two hardest things of our season, like the two absolute hardest. I would even call your punishment. It could be considered a comp. You know what I mean? Because you still had to complete it in order to compete in the next HOH. And I really believe that those two were the absolute most. They took the most of a toll on us, and it also took the most time. Just like honestly, almost the exact same length of time.
Yeah, 10 hours.
And I just think that I'm so proud of us for going through this together and completing these challenges and really showing ourselves how much that we can endure. And we are so strong, both of us. Like, we are such a dynamic duo. And I really believe that us on Amazing Race would be absolutely iconic. Like, I could not say yes faster.
So bang down the doors at CBS because they need us.
Let us in, please.
Oh, that'd be amazing. So amazing.
I would love. And honestly, like, I just like doing anything with you. You just make me feel safe. Like, you are just like, you know, and I really love how unapologetically yourself that you are. Something that I said over and over again on the show. I'm like, Angela's Angela. She's very passionate. She's very outspoken, but you just remind me of all of the strong women in my life that aren't afraid to say how they feel and are so strong. And there's so many things that the viewers don't even know about you that I know that make you even stronger, if that's even possible. So if there's anybody out there who is a diehard Angela fan, just believe me when I say that she is even better and stronger than you think. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for your presence in my life.
Yeah, I feel the same way about you. I think you are very, very genuine, a very sweet, compassionate woman. And you played that game so hard with your social game. It was impressive. Absolutely impressive. You have to know that.
Thank you.
And somebody in the comments said that I would find a way to turn on Leah. Absolutely not. My plan in telling Chelsea about that whole thing worked out fabulous because I made her worry so much that Quinn had started something with the trio that she thought that, and it could have been possible, but she thought, and I did fabricate that a little bit more to get Quinn gone. And guess what? It worked. It absolutely worked. It spooked Chelsea enough that it put Quinn's butt up on the block, and he went home packing. And I love Quinn. I don't mean any ill will towards him. I absolutely adore him. But in the game, I had to protect myself, and I would have been going home had I not put that fear into Chelsea. So it was not to throw Leah under the bus. I know it looked that way, but absolutely it was not. I definitely said to Chelsea that Quinn was the instigator of that, and that Quinn was in the bathroom talking to T-Core and Rubina and trying to get this thing going. And if he had teamed up with that trio, that's 4 people. That far outweighed what Chelsea had going with 3. So I definitely did that, and I think that was one of the most powerful things that I did do in the house, and I'm proud of it. And again, I'll repeat, I absolutely love Quinn. It was a game, and everything that he did in the game was in the game. I don't feel like he did anything personally to hurt anybody. It was all in the game. So love you, Quinn. It had nothing to do with that. I just wanted to be there. I want to be here. And so it was a move that I made to spook Chelsea, and it worked. It freaking worked. But I didn't mean to hurt Leah in the process. So just hope everybody knows that. I absolutely love her and would never turn on her. And it was painful even to to get Tucker out. But ultimately it was the house that got Tucker out. There's no way I could have voted for him. The house knew this was the one and only time that they could have gotten Tucker out. So, and I love Tucker still. We still talk, and he's amazing. So, and he holds nothing against me, by the way. He knows it was all game.
Period. I think period. The funny thing about that whole thing that the alliance that you talked about with Chelsea to get that into her head to get your goal of getting Quinn out. The funniest thing, which I'm not sure if I discussed this already with everyone, but I literally was soaking my hands in milk with all of these people that night because I had for some reason, my hand had an allergic reaction to the jalapenos that I was cutting the night before. So Angela genuinely thought that I was a part of this alliance with everybody else. And I'm like, I was literally soaking, like Quinn was walking to come and check on me because my hands were throbbing. They were literally burning so bad from cutting this jalapeno, which this has never happened to me in my whole entire life. And the fact that that's the reason why Quinn went home is like so ridiculous because I'm like, no, like, but I think, it worked out in your favor. I was just genuinely like, I was like, this is so ridiculous because I was trying to tell Chelsea, I'm like, Quinn is not like, someone you need to worry about. Like, this is just absolutely ridiculous what's happening here. But at the end of the day, like, I really don't think that things could have gone better. Like, I'm really grateful for the way that everything turned out, honestly. Also, like, I hate addressing hate comments, but this is so funny. Someone said to me that I'm a big SHIT talker, and guess what? I am. I've never told anyone that I don't talk crap. I like to talk crap.
Listen, it was game talk. It was in the game. There was nothing in malice. And yes, we all said things behind doors and to each other. But it's the other things that Leah was trying to come across without having to say it. She shouldn't have to because it's very personal. Woohoo! And somebody was asking too if I received that charcuterie board from Brooklyn. No! It is not here. It's not been at my door. I have been home, and no, it hasn't been here. So Brooklyn, where's my charcuterie board, babe? I don't see it.
Hello, we're waiting.
Wow.
Uber Eats is a little late.
It's all good though. Whatever. Someone's asking if I had won that double eviction night when I had to write down how many hours that Janky was alive. And my initial reaction, Leah, was to write 10,000, literally 10,000. And I was just trying to do the math really fast in my head. And I just second guessed myself. I guess you should always go with your gut. And so then I wrote 15.5, and which was really not smart of me to do at all. I should have just had an even number, but I didn't. But had I won it, and this is the question, had I won it, what would I have done? I would have put Chelsea on the block. Yeah! I would have gone home. Again, no malice. It's fine. It's a game. But I would have put Chelsea on the block. And I think the only votes she would have had to stay would have been 2. Because I think she would have gone home. I do.
I'm dead.
But everything happens for a reason. And to go out double eviction with Leah and have that time to just like, first of all, it's iconic to go out with double eviction. It shows what a threat she and I are and how I guess our relationship was so strong that they knew they couldn't break it in the house. I mean, even Mackenzie, with how much she loved Julia, that she thought that you were closer with me possibly, and that's why she did what she did. I mean, I don't really have the complete reasons behind it, but I have heard her say that, we were very close, and maybe that was a bit, a bit of a hindrance for her thinking to move forward with you. And I'm hoping that she realizes how much you adore her. But anyway, I think that Mackenzie would have definitely gone to my side on that one afterwards, but I wouldn't probably have been able to pull off some of those wins in the games that came after.
Yeah, I think like it was just also one thing that I do want to say about that tiebreaker that you lost in is that I think it's crazy that you were still closer to the actual number, but because you went over, it didn't count. That's so stupid. Like, it really should just be
the closest freaking number.
Like, who gets going on, big brother? Ridiculous. Yeehaw, cowgirls.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That was just so insane. Like, I cannot. Honestly, the whole show was really crazy. It is so funny that we even did it. Like, I still can't even believe that it happened or that it's over now. And also somebody asked what other shows we would do. I don't really watch a lot of reality TV. I've told you guys that, but I from what I know about traitors, I feel like, first of all, I feel like Angela's TV gold. They should put her on every single TV show ever created.
Oh, shut up. Shut up right now.
Because I will tune in just to watch. It's too good. And you know what? Like, whenever you came out during your HOH week, you came down the stairs, like I was like, is like, because as you know, Big Brother is just it is real. Like, nothing is scripted. So whenever this happened, I'm like, wait a second, like, is this scripted? Oh my gosh, I'm Elvis. Oh my gosh, let's go.
Oh, I love that.
Let's go. But
do you know how I had that idea, Leah? I don't know if I shared it with you in the jury house or not, but I had those black plastic sandals, and every time I would go up and down those stairs, they would clank. And I was like, I want to make it known. I don't want anybody playing telephone, so I'm not going to go and tell Matt how I feel alone, because I was worried. And I didn't want to just run off and tell other people alone. But I knew those shoes were loud, and I knew if I clapped simultaneously that it was going to get everyone's attention and that everyone could hear how I felt all at once. There was going to be no telephone played because I was going to be able to tell everybody all at once. And I knew I would stand right there on that platform before you go down the final steps, just so that everybody could see me. I wasn't exactly sure everything that I was going to say. Some of it just kind of came to me, but I definitely wanted to make sure everybody in the house had heard it. So that's how I kind of got the clapping thing down, because of my shoes.
oh my gosh.
Because of my shoes.
Literally, like, I wish that I could, reenact how this happened, like, because I've told you this already. I told Angela this in the jury house, but I had just had the most, like, heartfelt conversation with Matt the night before. So I had just, like, started to build a friendship with him. Like, it was me, him, and MJ. And I had just, like, seen the kind of man that he is. And I'm like, oh, I really like this guy. And as a friend. And then we were coming out of, the bedroom. And whenever I would walk out of the flower petal room, I would see Matt and MJ coming out. And we were like, okay, this is the morning that we're going to ask Angela to work with us. And then, they're out there already. And I'm like, I'll meet you guys out there. And then I walk out and I'm like, what is happening? Like, I didn't realize, and the fact that he was clapping along because he thought that something good was happening.
Oh, I know. You're like, it's so bad. And then Tucker goes like, oh, that wasn't how I thought it was going to go down. And then Joseph says, well, this is making this show. Honestly, I never thought in a million years that I would ever demonstrate demonstrate how I was feeling publicly in the house like that. But man, that house does something to you. And I'm not trying to make excuses or anything, because I own that shit. I'm good with it. And honestly, outside of the house and even inside the house, Matt is a cool dude. Like, he is a good guy. I have no ill will towards Matt, or anyone for that matter, Lisa, or anybody in the house. It was a game, and you don't know until you are there what you'll say, what you'll do, who you'll be. A part of you that you never knew would come out. And so I'm not making excuses. I am just being as real and honest and raw as I possibly can. Like, I know, watching, because I am a fan, watching previous seasons, there's a lot of things that go down. I mean, if the things that went down, and even 10 seasons ago, 6 seasons ago, 5 seasons ago, would never, ever make the cut in this current, where we're living now. It just wouldn't. And I'm not excusing it at all. The behaviors that sometimes go down in the house, because sometimes they are, really, really bad. But I think that you just have to be there and experience it. And I think it shows a lot of my character that someone as wonderful as Leah still stands by me, because she was in the same house, had the same experience. And a lot of the people that were in that house are still my friends to this day. They know the pressure that you're under in there. And so I think it speaks to my character that somebody like Leah still loves me and supports me. So I'm hoping that, people can see that. But I am one that will just quickly bypass any negative comments. And there are so very few compared to all the love and the support and the fact that this season brought back Old Brother. When I hear that time and time again, Leah, that we did that together, and the rest of the house guests, it is such a freaking honor. It is the biggest, highest honor that we could receive. And I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of that. And I just wanted to share that. Sorry. I just went off on a tangent a little bit. Sorry.
And that's literally what this is for us to go on tangents.
Well, can I say one more thing about the whole Chelsea thing? Because I don't want to leave it off that way. Because, saying that I would have put her on the block and hopefully she would have gone home. I still do think that Chelsea, she was probably the person to win for sure this season. She did win the season, but everybody voted for her unanimously because it was deserving. She was the one that went in there. And I'm going to take anything personal and put it to the side for a second and just say that she definitely was in people's ears. She definitely secured her spot. She was put on the block very early on and fighting for her life. She won herself off the block. She did a lot of things that were very admirable as a Big Brother player. And so therefore she was very, very deserving to have won. And I'm very, very proud of her for that. So I'm going to just leave that there and just put it and box it with a bow, because that's how I feel. And obviously, because we all voted for her unanimously, she did deserve it with being who she is. She knows the game, she played it well. So
100%. I completely agree. And I think that many people ask me the question that is, why didn't I vote for MJ to win? And was it because I was trying to get back at her for putting me up? Absolutely not. I said to myself that I was going to vote for whoever owned their moves in the game, who made the most moves, who was the most influential player. There was such a grand scope of things that I was pinpointing and choosing between whenever I was going to identify the winner. And choosing for Chelsea to win was because she was such a dynamic player, and she really was able to keep herself so well insulated in the house. She was able to lay, low while being one of the biggest threats the entire season. And for that, I truly commend her. I think that she won fair and square. So I have nothing negative to say about her. I never did. I am very confident that whenever I watch back that I haven't said anything negative. I always said she was a threat because she was, and she won, which proves that
it's okay to say things like that. For sure, it's okay to say things like that.
So I think that I agree with you, and she won unanimously for a reason, because she deserved it and she played a great game.
So people in the comments are saying that it seemed as though both of us at the round table with Taylor were leaning more toward the idea of that we might vote for Mackenzie to be the winner. And I do have to agree with you guys that, for me anyway, I can't speak for Leah, but for me at the round table, I was still really in my feels. I was definitely still feeling kind of a little jaded because Chelsea did make up some things to tell Leah. And, I had to put my personal feelings aside and have a perspective here. We didn't know, Leah and I, obviously, in any of the jury, we didn't know who would be the final two standing. There was a combination that could have happened. And I had to really do some soul searching and say, you know what? I am a fan of freaking Big Brother. And I need to vote for whomever is sitting there, whom I think played the best game, regardless of how I felt about them. And maybe if I felt jaded or if I had to be freaking fair. Obviously, I left the house with a lot of feelings of support to Mackenzie. I really did care about her I do care about her very, very much. And so my heart wanted me, and I wanted her to win. My heart did, because for personal reasons. And I didn't know the things she was saying, and could have been gameplay. But if she had taken Cam, I would have voted for her. No, not saying that Cam's not a great person, because he is. But if you had to look at gameplay, I would have said, okay, she did a lot of comps. Maybe her social game wasn't the greatest, but she did win a lot of comps, and I'd have to compare her and Cam. So therefore, I would have voted for Mackenzie. But because Chelsea was sitting there, I had to compartmentalize the fact that, hey, don't take this anything personal, Angela. You need to vote for the person that's most deserving here. The person that was more well-rounded, played the game to a fault. She played it very, very well. And so that's why you saw a difference in me and whom I voted for at the end. I had to play fair. And that was the best thing I could have done. And I stand by it. I feel good about it. And I hope that answered the question. Leah, do you want to answer that question for yourself?
I do. I think that I also had to put my personal feelings to the side and recognize the gameplay for what it was. I will also say that whenever we were, whenever you are making, whenever they are answering the questions on stage, like this is real life and it is live, everybody. Like it is not a joke. We do not plan this in advance. It is live, and we are hearing the answers to the questions that the jury is asking the candidates. I'm dead. The two finalists that are up there. We are live time reacting and also digesting everything that they are saying, all of their answers. And one of the things that threw me off was I knew in my head that if MJ said that getting me out was her best move, that just wasn't true. And I was waiting. This is what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear Chelsea own up to her manipulation, the way that she was able to influence people. If she could own that and address her influence and stand on it and stand over, what oh my gosh, hold on. My TV just turned on randomly.
We definitely wanted to hear, because that's what some of the questions that we had for Chelsea. We wanted her to go a little bit deeper and own up to some of the things that she did manipulate. It was nice to hear her say that she, she was in people's ears, but we wanted her to go a little bit deeper and really own it like big time. But it still came down to it. People are also asking if anybody in Jury House would have voted for Cam to win had he been sitting next to either girl.
I would not have. I'll tell you right now, it wouldn't have mattered. Cam could have had the best speech on planet Earth. He could have given a, MLA format speech that, stood on the fact that he could have told me anything on planet Earth, and there's no way on God's green earth that I would have voted for him to win. Nothing against Cam. I think that he's a great guy. But against MJ and Chelsea, there's no way, because Chelsea and MJ played such a strong game. They were both comp threats. They were both social threats. They both are incredible. I'm so proud of both of them for the game that they played. And I don't think that I can say the same for Cam. I mean, the man he won a veto. Like, Yifty Ding Dong Do. Love you, Cam. Sorry. But it's true. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, put me in, coach, because this might be your D1 athlete right here. But so there's just no way on God's green earth. And but I will say, another thing is, what I really wanted to hear from MJ was that she honestly made these decisions for herself, that she had other strategies in her social game that she wasn't sharing with everyone. I wanted to hear about her strategy. And whenever she answered that question on finale night and said that her best move was me, and that she did that all herself, there was no way. And I also wanted to hear about moves that were made behind the scenes, because that's a move, but I want to hear about your strategy. I want to hear about the hand that you had in everyone's eviction. I want to hear about all of these things. I want to hear about you being, like Quinn says, downright nefarious. Like, I want to hear about that. Where is that? And whenever, at first, Chelsea, she had me in the first half, whenever she was, like, not saying, when she was like, oh, I don't know if I lied, or, like, and then I was like, oh, boo. Like, I want to hear about your lies. I want to hear about your influence. I want to hear about all of the crazy things that you did. And whenever she finally owned up to it, I was like, yeah, like, let's go.
I think Chelsea was so instrumental, though, with the way that she was so well-spoken often,
yes,
that I think she should have owned up a little bit. I mean, I think she kind of did. She owned up to the fact, yeah, she did, that she was so in Mackenzie's ear, and Mackenzie thought she had it in the bag, and that's why she brought her to the final two, because I think that she thought winning all of those competitions and putting certain people on the block when she had HOH, she was so instrumental in getting, like, threats out, that she thought that was enough to be crowned the winner, and it just wasn't. But I think Chelsea was very instrumental in being in her ear, telling her that it was, that she was possibly, that she could win for sure against Chelsea. So I think she was in her ear enough to do that, and obviously, she knew what she was doing.
Absolutely, she did. And I'm so not shocked at how the game went. I think that whenever we were in the jury house, we were like, okay, well, if this, and this doesn't happen, Chelsea's gonna win, and like we already knew that. Like it was very
Yeah.
known because I don't know, it just felt that way, and she really, and I think that really what you said about the fact that MJ was, so convinced that she made these decisions for herself, which ultimately she did. I mean, she is an adult, she made these decisions, but that's how good, and what they say is a great manipulator means that will have you think that you're not being manipulated. Like, that's how you know you're a great manipulator, when people don't know you're manipulating. If people know that there's manipulation involved, then that's not manipulation. So that is true manipulation. That is true Big Brother. I'm happy that we got to be a part of it. It was iconic. And yeah, I mean, like, that was great. I'm trying to think. I was going to say something, but I don't think that we're allowed to say it, like, just about jury. Did you end up giving everyone their bracelets that you made in the jury house? Or you didn't? Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't end up giving them to everybody. No. It's okay, though. It's okay.
Yeah.
The grandbabies got theirs. I do want to clean up something a little bit. Is Angela on a filter? No, I'm not on a filter. I do want to clean up something a little bit about what I said about Cam, saying when I got to the jury house that Cam is not D1 anything. I wanted to say right after that, Leah, you're Elvis again. I wanted to say right after that is because he didn't demonstrate. I know he's D1, but he didn't demonstrate it in the house. And maybe Cam's gameplay was, you know what, I'm going to attach myself, woohoo, to these two very strong women in the house. He made a great connection and a friendship with both. And so his strategy coming in third still can't be necessarily looked down upon, because he knew to attach himself to these two people that he made great relationships with, that were definitely going to take him to the end and kind of also protect him. And he was such a gentleman in the house, and always so well spoken and quiet and kind. I don't think my family says they don't think he said anything negative or mean about anybody in the house. Like, he didn't even use it to his advantage being in a game like a reality show that we were in. And what's that?